So, something that led me down a hikikomori path, like a path to loneliness. I guess there were a few things that led me down the path of the hikikomori. The first thing was rejection from one girl who I really liked. After that happened, I got really depressed and I wanted to be alone. The next thing is my mom's boyfriend, basically. At the time, we get along now, but at the time, it was kind of hard to get along with him because he would yell at me and shit. And I remember one time, he asked me if I wanted to work for him. I needed a job, so I said sure. And then I don't know, this job though, man, the job I had was so, and this was 10 years ago, but the job he gave me to do was to clean these semi trucks with a brush, a giant brush. And I just had to clean semi trucks with a giant brush. And that would have been fine, except for it was really hot out. And there were about 100 semi trucks. Maybe 50, I don't know. But a lot. And he wanted me to do this every day. And I was just I can't it was too taxing on me. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I was doing the hardest work. Everybody else on the job site was just standing there basically and watching me do it. And I don't know if they were trying to test me, but I was screw this, so I quit. And that's when he really got mad at me. And he has bipolar disorder, so that was hard. So those two things led me down a loner path, a hikikomori sort of path. So getting rejected by a woman who I really loved, who I thought might become my wife eventually, but who never did. And then just getting screamed at by a full-grown man for not being able to do what I was told or whatever, like I was a little kid or something. I don't know. I was for one thing, I really just don't give a shit. And for another thing, I don't know, I really just don't give a shit was my main... the main thing about me in my 20s or even my late teens was that I was learning not to give a shit about anything at an early age. And there were still things I cared about, playing video games, just whatever. I'm about the same way now, except for I care more about having a job than I used to. Even though I get Social Security income. Yeah, I learned how not to give a shit from those two experiences. And so I became hikikomori or MGTOW or a lone wolf type who just fucked women when he could. And got into fights sometimes and just sort of led the loner path. And this is when I was in good shape too. I was I was pretty ripped. And I would lift weights sometimes. And for a while I was lifting weights every day. And I'm still pretty muscular, but I'm just I got fat recently. I'm pretty fat now, and now I look like a neckbeard. I don't exactly look like, I don't really look like a neckbeard, but I'm fat, whatever. I'm 31 years old. At least I'll be 31 in January. And yeah, I learned not to give a fuck about anything when I was that young, just because, uh, yeah. Because I realized after I lost that woman, I realized like no other woman's going to really love me. You know, like I realized like if this woman who I've known this long rejects me and doesn't want to be with me, there's not much hope for me when it comes to other women. Even if there is, I even told myself, even if there is more hope with other women, they're still gonna do the same thing. And I knew it as soon as she rejected me. I was like, I know that it won't be good for me for the rest of my life. And so far that's been true. And you might call that a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I don't think so. Basically, like just every woman I've ever been with has rejected me eventually. So I just sleep around, you know. If I can fuck a woman, then I will. If she's attractive, and if I can't, I won't. I'll just move on to the next one, and that's what I do because, yeah, and I don't know. That's something I've been able to do, you know. Not everybody can do that. But it's not really the greatest lifestyle. Like, I really wish I had a wife. And I wish I could have children. Or at least have a wife, you know. I wish I had a wife. I at least wish I had a wife. Just some companionship. But yeah, those are the main two things that led me down this loner lifestyle. And when I was really young, like I got taken advantage of a lot. In like the worst kinds of ways, and like I don't know. That led me down a loner lifestyle too, just sort of didn't really care to be around other people that much. And I was always over socialized as a kid. So I know how to talk to people. But you know, it's just kind of I still have this I don't give a fuck attitude, you know. I don't know. And I wish, part of me wishes that I cared a little bit more about certain things. Like if I lost my job, like I'm about to get a job in January. But if I lost that job, I probably wouldn't care that much. I might. Like I'm getting to the point where I actually might care about losing a job. But every job I've ever had that I've quit for another job, or just to go back to school, or just because I didn't want to have a job at that time, I really haven't given a shit about like that job. And I kind of wish I would have cared more, because I maybe would have made more money. But that's about the only reason why I would want to care more about a job, just to have money. By care more about a job, I mean like I wish I were like concerned by like unemployment. Like it doesn't bother me to be unemployed, because I just find other stuff to do, like play a video game, write a book. I write books. Go on walks. What else do I do? You know, I just build something. I haven't built anything in a while. Sculpting. Not sculpting, but ceramics or whatever. Just anything, you know, I just find something to do, you know. But now I'm going to have a job in January. And I can say I actually kind of finally give a shit whether or not I keep this job. But I'm not sure, like, if I, like, let's just say I work there for a month or two. Maybe it gets really monotonous, which it probably will. Because it's supposed to be at a call center. Maybe I just get tired of it, and I end up quitting. Like, I hope I can give a shit enough about the job, or at least about making money, that I keep the job. Because I actually do, and here's the thing, like, I'm going to try my best to do that. I really would have to have a wife to, like, really care about it, but I'm just getting this job in the hopes of attracting a wife. And you might say a call center job isn't really the best job, but, like, it's still a job, though, If you have a job and you look all right, like, my face still looks fat, but all right, I guess. And I'm fat, but I don't know. So some women are still going to like me, so I'm just going to see if I can get a wife if I have a steady job. I really don't know if that's going to work. But that's the idea, right? Like, if you have a steady job, you can support a family, so a woman might want to be your wife. That's the idea, right? Like, I don't know if that works in 2024, but that's what I'm going to try to do. Anyway, let's see what happens. Anyway, yeah, those are the two main reasons why I took this loner lifestyle, and I guess the third reason would be just a bad upbringing. I actually had a pretty good, like, childhood in a lot of ways, but in some ways it was pretty bad. Especially the first 4 years of my life. I actually starved, like, in the middle of America. I starved for about maybe a year, maybe not quite a year, but for, like, some period of time within a year of my life, like, I starved, which is probably why I'm short. Like, my parents, like, my dad's 5'9", my mom's 5'3", and I'm 5'7". So my parents aren't really that short. But I ended up, like, kind of short, My brother's 5'10". He was born 2 years after me, so I don't know. I assume I would have been taller if I hadn't starved, but yeah, it's just kind of brutal. But that's why I've never given a fuck about my height. Like, I was kind of insecure about it for, like, when I was, like, 20 years old, but then I started lifting weights. I just didn't care anymore. I've had women ask me out. I've fucked women. I don't know. As far as, like, my virginity goes, like, I don't have that anymore. As far as, like, proving yourself with the opposite sex goes, like, I've pretty much proven myself with the opposite sex. But the only thing is, like, it's not really even about proving yourself. Like, that's what I thought it was about when I was younger. Like, proving yourself, like, that you could have sex and get with women. But, like, the thing is, they're either going to choose you or they're not going to choose you. So, like, it's not even really up to you, You just have to, like, go up, talk to one, and then she either says yes or no, Like, that's it. And that's it. It's not really about you proving yourself, And I guess the only way to prove yourself is to get approval from a woman, but if you're concerned about proving that you can have sex, but yeah, it's barely up to you, Like, you still have to go up and find the woman to have sex with, but it's ultimately her decision, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've been hikikomori for a long time. And I've had jobs off and on, and I went to school throughout my 20s, but I was also just neat or like hikikomori for a lot of that time. And that was just mostly due to being treated poorly by people. I just didn't really feel like dealing with the bullshit, so I didn't. I said nope. I just stayed at home. Like, yeah, if you're gonna, like, here's the thing, like, I don't know if it's because I'm short or, if I'm 5'7". I don't know if it's because I'm short or if it's because I have like a nice personality or like my face is just, polite looking, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it just looks like I'm easy to pick on, but like I've always been picked on by people, and getting yelled at was just like something that always happened to me by everybody, like just everybody. And I was always somebody who tried to follow the rules, and like at least when I was younger, I used to try to follow the rules to like a T. And yeah, the only thing I can say about that shit is that gets real fucking tiring. It's like, what the hell? But anyway, not that you shouldn't follow the rules of like the society, but like when the society is so stupid that I don't know how to describe this, but like there's just so many like laws and shit that are in place that are good laws, but then they get twisted or you get taken advantage of because somebody twists the law to say that this is that even though this happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. That's one example. Like, it's not just laws, but like social, like just the way people think, I guess. Human behavior, I guess, is just stupid sometimes. People seem to be very selfish. And I don't know. One thing I've noticed though is that as long as you give somebody what they want, they'll work with you. Like they'll do things for you. They'll work with you. They'll work with you. They'll work for you. As long as you can give them what they want. And for most people, that's like a job and money. Well, most people don't want a job, but they want money. And they want money because they want more influence, basically. Or power, or whatever, but like influence, basically. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for now. I'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.